Good day, strategy gamers, and welcome back to episode 9 of our Rule the Waves 3 Let's Play Japan series. Going to be kicking off here in 1901. Budget has increased a pretty decent amount. Fleet has grown and composition is getting healthier. A couple of battleships and 3 light cruisers recently commissioned, so looking forward to what we have here in the next couple of turns. Also had some tension rising with China, Russia, and Great Britain. And we now have the option to complete the battleship Iki, which is a Kai class with our best fire control. I think that's just a no-brainer to do that. We'll probably end up getting the same option with the Heisen, I'm guessing. That's all good news. Looks like tension with Spain increased because of them controlling the Philippines. Tension with Great Britain is reduced, so that was a topic in the last episode. We want to try to lower tension just a little with Great Britain. A war with Russia, a war with China, both are very preferable. Now we see too that the ship has the R1901 representing, I think, refit. I don't think it'd be a rebuild, but yeah. R could be backwards on that. Our scientists report that they're working on problems with Krupp armor. Success eludes them though. All right. Tension is reduced with China because of the recent war, even though those wars only lasted a couple of months. Tension with Russia is reduced. All around the world, tensions are reducing. That's not great as we want to grow our naval budget and take more territory. A little interesting. Budget's still negative, so we're going to wait for... Ooh, no, actually it finishes in 1 month. So what I want to actually do is, so we've got these light cruisers building, and that's a positive because we need to replace our light cruisers that we have here, as they're now becoming obsolete. We also have armored cruiser, though, that we need to start looking at replacing. And currently, we have the more modern Iwate class, which are leveraging 9-inch guns, 4 of them. These were all built most recent in 1898, but we've gotten a lot of new technology since this design came out. So I think we're actually going to commission a design of a new armored cruiser. So let's go ahead and do that. It's a pretty heavy armored cruiser, and actually I'm just going to go back here. I like being able to see some of the other ships that we have currently in inventory as we look at the designs to do a little bit of a comparison. Let's go back to armored cruiser. So this is quite a bit heavier, and it has 8-inch guns. I am almost tempted to do 8-inch guns because we have the quality 1 on them. I know we have 8-inch on our light cruisers, but I don't think 8-inch is a horrible caliber, and I really do like that quality difference. I actually think we might stick with the 8-inch guns. And this is already pretty armored. We need up to 6.5 inches of belt to be able to cover, just as a rule of thumb here. That puts us at negative 630. We have 14 7-inch casemates. That seems like a lot. And 12 3-inch. So let's cut down the tertiary a little bit. Well, we're going to do a mixture of things. Let's only go to 6 inches of belt. See what it would cost to get another knot of speed. That's a lot. My goodness, it's just getting a little tough. Where's all of our weight right now? I think so much of it here is from the secondary guns, because we've got a total of 1,200 weight dedicated to them. So let's actually bump that up to an 8. Let's take these down to be 6-inch guns. And let's go down to maybe 8 6-inch guns. That certainly gets us closer. I would like to keep the 22 knot speed just because our light cruisers are at 23 and I want to start to raise that standard just a little bit more. Our deck is of course pretty heavy. Now, at those ranges though, the deck really isn't doing anything. So if we did just 1 inch, we get pretty close to what we need here. Let's decrease how many rounds we have in our secondaries. So that gets us to a healthy weight. So it's suggesting that we actually go with 9-inch the rate of fire, so we're overweight though. So what if we take our upper belt down to 2 and our extended belt down to 2? That looks good there. We're at negative 25. Let's cut out one more pairing of casemates. Then we can probably bring this down to 11,500 in displacement. So that's all okay. So this would cost 1,800 a month. 25 months to build. Kind of like this, there's a lot of topside capacity too for a retrofit, maybe with anti-air. It'll be the early stages though of anti-air, because even at a very aggressive, like 15-20 year lifetime for this ship, you're not going to be talking about World War II aviation. You're still in the World War I era. I think this is good, so we'll finish this. Take 3 months, that's fine. So I think we'll probably build 1 armored cruiser at a time, and then a couple of light cruisers at a time to then slowly replace those obsolete ships. So they're short on orders, a 10% discount. I think I'm going to take that offer. Okay. The Balkans are a mess. There's nothing here that gets us budget, but let's try another war with China. Let's push tension with China again. Okay. They've got some battleships that will be finishing in the next month or 2 here. Pretty negative on budget. It's going to get a little better here though when the Iki finishes. And then we're also going to have docks finishing in 8 months, as well as the Haizen. Yeah, okay. Go to the next turn. Budget's going to get really tight here. Oh no. So trouble reaching design speed. It was designed at 18. So I think that might mean we have a 17 knot battleship. Colonial crisis with Russia has arisen. We're going all out. Tension, budget. Let's get those monies. And the Prime Minister wants to look at our latest design of the armored cruiser Azo. So we can lose a prestige, or we can let them look at the design and lose a month. Because of our budget constraints, I'm not too worried about the rush to get the design into the docks, so that's fine. They can have a month to look at it. Bureaucracy at its finest. So our budget's now pretty close to flat, largely because of the events raising our budget. We started about 158,000. We're now at 167, so that really helps. So yeah, right now our battleships, the Fuso class is at 16 knots. The Kai was at 18, so this one's going to lag behind. I think we might then put the Iki actually in the Fuso division, just so that way it doesn't slow down the other Kai battleships. We should do that now, I think. So let's assign it to the 2nd Battle Division. And we need to give it a commander as well. Sort by ability. There's another above average available here. I think the above average is appropriate, so that's Captain Asira. Go to the next month. Oil has been discovered in Bermuda. I think that'll be too relevant to us right now. And blueprints for the Spanish armored cruiser Belarus. So they're at 8,600 tons, so that's a couple thousand tons, 3,000 tons almost lighter than our most recent design, the Azo. Again, they have 8-inch, we have 4 9-inch. They certainly have more secondary and tertiary. I know it's a little controversial, but I really, early on, feel that that's a little less needed, those secondary and tertiary guns. You know, again, controversial opinion, but especially as light warfare, torpedo warfare is in its infancy, I think you can get away with a little more. Belt armor, we definitely have more armor. We're at, I think it was 6 inches, 6.5 inches. The deck, we also have, do we have 2 inches or 1 inch of deck? I think it was 1 inch of deck. It's not too important right now, though. So, okay. We're pretty comparable then, at least to the Spanish. This is a good event here, or notice that our technology now allows up to destroyers of 500 tons. All right, safe fuse arming devices. A lot of events here. So there's some rebuilds that others are doing. I think a lot of that is probably because the starting fleets are starting to age, so all the navies kind of have the same situation we have here. I'm electing to just kind of replace many of these hulls because these starter hulls don't have any of the armor, any of the technology in them. And really the tonnage is pretty low as well. I would rather just lay down new hulls even at the sacrifice of quantity in the fleet. Not too much else though. A lot of destroyers being laid down. So maybe it's a good time, since we just got that technology for destroyers, that we look at the almanac and just see, you know, we have our 20 destroyers in service, but everybody else has about twice as much as us other than Russia. And they have destroyers being built too. So I think what we'll do, we have 6 months left on that battleship, 1 month left here on this heavy cruiser design. In a month or two, I think we'll go ahead and design a new 500-ton destroyer, and then we'll build maybe 5, 6, 7 more, that new class once that design's done. Let's see, minor islands on Asian mainland is threatened by a neighbor. I think we should back them unconditionally, get that budget. Tension's fine if that goes up. One of our captains is below average ability. Not too exciting. Tension with Russia is getting pretty high. We have not yet had a war with Russia, only with China. Maybe a war with Russia would last more than a month or two. The new design for the armored cruiser Azo is complete, so we're going to go ahead and build the first ship in that class. That will cost $1,800 a month, so we are back negative. I think we're going to come up just a little short here on funds. We'll give it a month or two, though, to see if maybe our budget can increase once more. He's finished working up. That's good. Ooh, heavy secondary battery. So we can have secondary guns that are larger than 8 inches. Pretty large secondary battery. Again, a lot of rebuilds continue to happen. And France building larger docks. Okay. Nothing too exciting in all that, though. Go another month here. Russia has a majority of their heavy ships in active status. So I think we won a war. Let's just do a quick check here, though. So they certainly outnumber us in terms of battleships. Same within every department, they outnumber us quite considerably, other than destroyers, ironically. But again, remember they must split their forces really between the Pacific and the European theaters, at least to begin with. And when we look at their ships for their battleships, ooh, they actually have larger battleships than I thought. All with 12-inch guns, too. That is a little more concerning. But look at all of these different theaters that they have their ships in. I think we can raise tension just once more with them. So there's that. Okay, so tension increased naturally here because they control the Sakhalin, I believe that is. And tensions with China also increase. War with both would be very difficult. It'd be very, well, frankly, it'd be very bad, but we'll see what happens here. Another month, we're getting close to the Eisen finishing, and then we'll be able to build some destroyers. Going to add the most recent fire control as we expected that would come up. So a new armored cruiser from the Chinese. Yeah, I think we've seen this class. We have. So not going to go over it too much, but just you can see 7-inch guns instead of our 9. Belt armor is almost 2 inches thinner. Yeah, not too impressive. Okay. So we got 2 months left on that Heisen. Docks are finished in 2 months. So our budget, we should be able to make it here. And then we'll build those destroyers. And it'll be nice if we have some of those light cruisers coming along. Political murder in the Balkans. Okay. We can increase budget with a couple of these, all except the last one. So no matter what, tension's going to increase. I think it would mean tension increasing with Russia, at least I think it'd be likely. So no matter what, we're probably going to get pushed over the line with Russia, which will mean war coming very soon. With that being said, we might as well increase tension and get some budget out of it. This one gives us budget and prestige, so let's go that way, even though it increases tension more than the others. Ooh, hydraulic recoil, that's nice. Oh, tension only increased with Great Britain. That's actually a little alarming. We're about to have these finish and the docks finish, so let's go ahead and actually design that new destroyer up to 500 tons. So range is short. Sorry guys, I'm gonna hop back over here just so we can see what those destroyers are like that we currently have. So change that to destroyer. 500 tons, this is at 27 knots. There we go. We're at 26 with our current destroyers. So that's an improvement. Range is medium instead of short, so that's nice. Freeboard's normal. Has secondary guns. I mean, it's not much, but I don't know what value having 4-2. We're getting rid of the secondary guns. I think that's a little ridiculous on a destroyer at this point. Yeah, we don't need those. So that gives us a little bit of weight remaining then too. Certain we can't get up to 28. That's 17. I don't see how we'd make that up, so let's just stick to 27. We do normal priority for engine speed. We can. Let's just do normal to try to reduce those breakdowns. All right. Crowd at centerline gun and torpedo mounts. Okay, let's kill the aft turret. Because I care more about this being a torpedo boat than I care about anything else, really. Now, interestingly, actually, let's go up to 28. Go back to speed. We're only 5 away now. To get up to 28 knots. Really, those torpedo mounts are what's giving us most of the weight. We did short range. We can go all the way up to 30. That's tempting to have a 30-knot destroyer at this stage. Because, I mean, so many of these battleships, like what we were looking at that Russia has, will probably be around 16 knots in speed. Being able to have twice the speed as your enemy's battleship line is pretty valuable. And all of our territories are in Northeast Asia. It's just the distance they might have to go to the engagement that would be a concern. So let's actually change that back to medium. And let's go with 27. I would really like it. Really like to get something here. Can I go cramped? Can go cramped. So we did 28 and cramped. Am I allowed to do that? Yeah, let's do that. Save and finish. Take 1 month to finish the design work. That's fine. See if war with Russia comes in the next turn or two. Our unrest level has grown to 1. I think it's the first time we've seen that. So it's something to be mindful of. Our new docks have finished, so that'll free up some budget. Okay, a commander whose ability we don't know, and a scandal involving Champagne and an admiral's daughter. I think we get a positive prestige for a commander we don't even know what their ability is on. Yeah. Prop armor is making progress. Made unexpected advances in torpedo technology. Torpedoes now have a range of 800 at 25 knots and 2000 at 15 knots. Okay, so that's great timing with our new destroyers too. That's good. A lot of destroyers being built is really the thing here. Okay, destroyers now ready for being built. Let's start with 5 and we'll go from there. We'll have the light cruiser finish in a month, but then I want to kind of build up the budget for a month or two just because we're getting pretty low here. Always want to have a little bit in reserve to be able to buy technology if that moment presents itself. All right, so the Heisen and the Takasago have been commissioned. Let's see. A lot of rebuilds and destroyers still. Not much else. Tension with Spain increased, but it always drops back down, so I'm not expecting much to come from that. Our budget is looking great now. So with that budget, we could do another armored cruiser. Another Aso class. That puts us at 100. And we'll do one more destroyer as well. That's fine. Let's go over here to the Heisen. This one does have 18 knots, so we can put it in the 1st battleship division. And we need to provide it a commander next. Let's see who we have. Might have to go with an average commander here. Let's go with the good administrator to try to get them some experience, and then maybe they turn out to be a good admiral leading a division. We also have the new light cruiser, and we will do a new division for light cruisers. And for this division, we already have an independent. Let's make these guys screens for the first battle division. And we will add the Takasawa to that division. All right, good progress there. We need a commander, though, for the Takasawa. An average gunnery expert. Let's go with them. Always love a gunnery expert. Budget's just about flat, so that's in a good spot. Surprised we haven't had war kickoff with Russia quite yet. Symbolic concessions to China to lower tensions. Are you mad? Not a chance in hell. No, we're going to get the prestige. We don't want to lower tensions with China. Really nothing exciting here, just technology and ships being built. Another month. We're at 191 in budget. We're getting pretty close to the high watermark, I think, that we've had in budget for this series. So this is good. This is right where we want to be. Okay, so the war party is saying we need immediate action against Russia. So I think this is a little interesting. So we have two options. We can get budget and pretty much almost guaranteed have war, or we get budget and lose one prestige. That's a tough call. That is a tough call. So I think we're going to go with we are not ready for war yet. I say that because another couple turns with this high budget gets us a few more light cruisers. Maybe we even get close to having the new Aso armored cruiser finished. The destroyers we just designed at 500 tons. I think we might just be in a better position. And we get to continue this high yearly budget without the increased expense going towards, the higher maintenance that's required during wartime. So we're going to go with that option. Okay, a lot of ships built. So we're now at 200,000 in budget, 680 in surplus. When we look at ships here, I want to do another batch of destroyers. So let's do another 5 destroyers. We're a little negative, but that's okay. 2 ships have finished working up, so that would probably be the new Kai class and the Takasago. Really not getting too much in the news here, and tensions with Russia actually decreased due to random tension changes. Okay. So again, we're reaping the benefit of the budget without the increased expense of the war. And let's take a look. So another thing we've been really focused on is our technology. So we are still behind. However, the changes here are China is now backwards, whereas they were behind. So this shows that, we're not slipping further back. And we also see that Great Britain has a new companion in very advanced with Germany. So that's something to watch out for with Germany, because there might be conflict with us and Germany given some of their territorial possessions in the Pacific. Just really would like to refresh a little bit our light cruiser fleet here. Okay, a lot of new technology that folks are getting. That's about it. Still staying pretty close to flat on budget, which is good. So the Kasagi is now commissioned, so that'll free up more budget. Yeah, I'm not gonna I'm not going to decrease my naval spending, China. Nice try, though. It's very, very generous of you. So we have a new rangefinder as well, which is a positive. No other tension changes. Let's make sure we get a commander here for the Kasagi. We have some average commanders. Let's just go with Yamuchi. And then we'll go to division and add them to the new 4th light cruiser division. That's good. Now it's 700 in budget, and we have a Suma finishing next month. So let's do another 2 light cruisers. So that'll be 2,100 a month in expense. And then we'll go to our ships in service. And what we're going to do here is we're actually going to get some budget back. Some of these obsolete ones we're actually going to decommission. Now, to choose which one, though, is the next question. I think the first candidate is here, this light cruiser that has 5-inch guns, just because it's so abnormal to all the others. We'll scrap that light cruiser. So that frees up about 100 a month. And then we also have, I want to do it by class to be consistent here. Naniwa is pretty similar to the others. We'll scrap you. You have a slightly higher maintenance monthly as well. And then do we maybe get rid of the Matsushimas? I think we might. They only have 6 6-inch compared to the Yayimas that have 10 6-inch. They're a little bit less in displacement. And both are at the same speed. So let's go ahead and scrap these 3. So what's important to note is that the 2nd light cruiser division is now empty, and its role was to screen the 2nd battle division. So we currently don't have any light cruisers that are screening the 2nd battle division. I think as we have new cruisers join, we will look to rectify that. Now, we actually lost our commander here with this light cruiser, probably due to a promotion or retirement or something. So we'll assign them this average commander. That gets the budget in a little bit better of a spot. We'll get back 1,000 once the Suma is commissioned. I think that will work out nicely. We still have some ways to go, though, until the armored cruisers are finishing. Some new technology on machinery, that's good. And our intelligence on Great Britain has acquired research results in armor-piercing projectiles from Great Britain. So thank you again to the commenter to suggest we do low intel on Great Britain. That has paid dividends. Even though we have seen a little bit of tension increase, it has paid dividends. So that is good news. Germany tension reduces as well. Okay. So we've got the new Suma. Let's put them in the 2nd light cruiser division. And then we're going to give them a commander. And the next light cruiser will also go to the 2nd. So we'll have 2 divisions of light cruisers, and we'll just slowly build those up to have 3 or 4 each. And then they can be screens for the 1st and 2nd battleship divisions. We'll go with just this average commander here. That's good. Yeah, good stuff. We're at pretty much flat budget. We broke $200,000 or 200,000 in yearly budget. Increased our dock sizes a little bit in this episode. Starting to replace our light cruisers and armored cruisers that have become obsolete. Some new 500-ton destroyers are coming out in the next couple of months. Some really great progress all around. I think we're going to call the episode here, though. Thanks as always for your support. The comments section has been wonderful. Apologies, I know I've been a little behind in getting back to all of you in the comments section, but I always do endeavor to do so, even if it takes me a while. Thank you, really appreciate it, and some helpful insight as well from various folks that are commenting, so really appreciate that. However, with that, strategy gamers, hoping you have yourselves an excellent day. Bye now.